What's up, guys? This is Ryan Johnson with moneybass.com, and today just wanted to drop a quick video for you guys that have been asking for a recap or some type of update for Lake Guntersville. So if you guys have been keeping up, I have already uploaded day one of Lake Guntersville. The lake itself is real tough right now, guys. I don't know how much you've heard about it, but there's a lot of eelgrass on that lake, where they've been, I guess they've been trying to reduce the grass that's on that lake. They've been cutting it and actually going back with some big machines scooping that grass up. But what you will find is that there's still a lot of that grass just floating in random areas. Of course, it's shallow, it's out deep, and some of it has actually sank down into the grass that is already on that lake. So it's kind of a mixture of things, and you have to figure out what type of bait you can get through that grass. If you hook a fish, how are you going to get that fish out of there? But the biggest thing of all is actually finding and locating the fish to be able to catch those. So just wanted to go over a quick recap of my day one, my strategy for that day, and the baits that I used. And also a few of you guys have asked about our past tournaments for the second half of the season, which is Lake Russell and Lake Lanier. So I'll talk about Lake Guntersville first, and then just go over Lake Russell and Lake Lanier real quickly. But pretty much my practice day did not work out as planned, and I did make a video ahead of time on that. I was really hoping that I could find an offshore bite and get that done with some crankbaits, some big crankbaits like a 6XD, 8XD, 10XD crankbaits, get out there in 20 to 30 feet of water and catch fish that way. That plan was completely scratched on my Friday, the day before the tournament. So I pretty much went into day one of the tournament Saturday with just had to revamp everything, completely new game plan. So those big crankbaits, I basically put those completely away, changed up my game plan, and decided to go shallow and go ahead and focus on that grass and figure out a way that I could get a bait to get across that grass and get down into that grass wherever I needed to be able to catch those fish. There was also a Spro frog tournament going on that same Saturday. So Spro frog tournament, I know they're going to be hitting the frog, but from what I have been hearing and kind of seen for myself, that grass was kind of matted up real thick, and it looked like it was going to be difficult for those fish to get through that grass and get that frog, and that did turn out to be the case. So the bait that I decided to go with was a wacky rig. And basically my logic behind that is that this wacky rig, I can throw this on top of that grass and just kind of move it across without getting hung up, and it may make some a little wake or just some type of disturbance across the top of that grass, similar to a frog. But once I get to the edge of the grass, you know, I would just kind of shake it till it gets to the edge, let it fall over and slowly sink down, and that's where I would get my bites at. So that was my day one strategy, and it started off pretty good. I mean, that was working out for me. But I was able to catch my first two fish very quickly, and from there I decided to go out and see if maybe the bite had picked up a little bit. So I decided to run out, go to some bridges, go offshore a little bit, and what I was throwing there was my tried and true shaky head. And on that shaky head, of course, I throw that on that black ice ducket rod, and this is a 7.2 medium rod. Great rod. The reel that I use is a Fluger SP30, and I will use high-vis yellow braid on there, and this will either be 20 to 30 pound braid, and I'll tie that off to 12-pound Seaguar and Vizex line. And this leader, the fluorocarbon and Vizex, is maybe about, I'd say, 10 to 15 feet long for that leader. And then I use either a FG knot or a uni knot and tie that together. This, I don't think I got any bites on my shaky head. So from there, I decided to All right, so from there, I decided to go out and try to hit offshore with another technique that I've had a lot of success with in the past on Guntersville, which is a Carolina rig. So on that Carolina rig, I like going offshore to some deeper water, but I will actually throw this in some of that grass, and it'll make it through there pretty easily. On that Carolina rig, I'll throw that on a 7.6 medium heavy, and this is a Duckett casting rod, Micro Magic, and I have that on a, let's see, what is this? A speed spool, loose speed spool. I think it's a Mach 2. And the line that I throw this on is 20-pound main line, and the leader that I put on here may be about 2 feet long, and I'll generally put 12-pound Seaguar and VizX on that also. Sometimes I'll go with 10-pound a BrazeX line on that. This time, I knew I was in trouble when I did not get any bites on my Carolina rig, and normally I'm able to pull in a limit with that right there. So what I realized is that I had to stay focused and stay shallow. So that was my game plan for the day. And I would say that's pretty much it, guys. So make sure you stay tuned for day 2. That will be coming out tomorrow. I know you guys have been waiting for that one, especially everybody that has been following along with me. But day 2, that will be coming up tomorrow. And always check the description and the comments. Oh, speaking of the comments, I wanted to give a shout out to a few guys that have always stayed in the comments. I see your names in here a lot, staying pretty active, supporting the channel, and I really appreciate it. So I have Brian Baker, Mike Porter with the Rod Benders Bass Club, Chauncey Davis, and My Retired Hobbies Gainesville. If you guys aren't staying in the comments and reading some of his comments, I mean, this guy, he has some good information that can help out a lot of guys that are looking to learn and up your game a little bit. Then we have Gino Mattingly. Looks like a new guy, maybe not to the channel, but to the comment section. Really appreciate you helping us out there. Reno 954678, seen you before. I really appreciate you coming back. But that's just a few of the guys that are in the comment section. Now let's just go ahead to Lake Lanier. Well, for the second half of the season, first we hit Lake Russell. So with Lake Russell, that's a lake that I like the way that that lake fishes. You can pretty much go after spotted bass or largemouth. And what I decided to do on that lake is in the morning, I would go after largemouth. I would target rocky areas and mainly brush piles. And I would use my shaky head rod with that. And that is that black ice setup that I just told you about. And I will put the link in the description for my complete setup for this also. But basically, that was my plan for that. In the mornings, I would go after those largemouth. And then once those stopped biting or the sun came out, or I just kind of felt things may change a little bit, maybe around 10, 11 o'clock, then I would go out deep, catch fish on drop shot, spy bait, things like that. So that was pretty much my game plan for, what was that, Lake Russell. Next was Lake Lanier. So Lake Lanier, that bite was a little different also, because on Lake Lanier and Lake Russell, both of those were in kind of starting to turnover. So what I found is that both of those lakes had suspended fish. So I needed to figure out a way to be able to catch those spotted bass. So the game plan for that was pretty much on Russell, drop shot, spy bait. I did not really get them to come up on top, but that was it for Russell. Lake Lanier. Okay, so Lake Lanier, that one I could not get them to really hit the drop shot. I think I may have caught one fish on that. So what I decided to do with that is those fish that were suspended, I needed a way to get those fish to come up on top. So I decided to first go out there, focus on long points. I would start out in maybe 80 feet of water and just start casting that top water from there, making those fish start looking up. And this is pretty much my logic or my game plan behind that. Get those fish to start looking up. Then I would come right behind that with a swim bait. Then after the swim bait, I would slow that down a little bit more with a spy bait once I would target the location of those fish. And that was pretty much the game plan for Lake Lanier. And worked out pretty good. Lake Russell, I placed second place. In the video it says third place, but we had to do some recalculations on that. So I actually placed second on Lake Russell. Lake Lanier, I was able to pull off a 3rd place finish. And for Lake Guntersville, day 1, I'm currently sitting in 4th place. And let me just tell you real quick on my wacky rig setup. I generally use my my Micro Magic Ducket spinning rod. That one is a 6 medium heavy rod, but I had that one set up on a drop shot already. So I just used this 13 fishing rod that I picked up from one of my friends. And this one is a, let me see, Fate Black 6'7" medium fast. And on this, I threw this wacky rig setup on straight braid, 30-pound braid. And for this, I would take a, I know you probably can't really see it on film, but on the video, but get that out of there. So I use high-vis yellow line, but the leader, maybe what is that, about 6 or so feet, I would take a black marker. Just take a regular black Sharpie permanent marker, and I will take this line in that first 5-6 feet or so. I would just color that black to cover up that high-vis yellow line. And let me see the weight size on here. It's real light, maybe a 1/16 ounce weight. I didn't want something that would sink down into that grass and get bogged down and caught up a lot. And the worm color, I would change that between green pumpkin, black and blue. Just not really anything, you know, I didn't really have a specific color that I had honed in on, but I do believe it was more of the black and blue color that I ended up catching those fish on. But that's pretty much it, guys. Let's go ahead and get into day 2, which will be uploaded tomorrow. And also make sure you subscribe, like the videos, and every Tuesday and Thursday I will be uploading the electronics tutorial. So tomorrow there will basically be the Lake Guntersville day 2 video and also the electronics tutorial. All right, guys, appreciate you supporting the channel. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, share the videos, and guys, if you know me, just at least say hi in the comments because I know you're watching. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one.